Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If this is your first video that you're watching, hi, my name is Kira and this is my Flop YouTube channel. So today I just wanted to hop on here and talk about university and majoring in chemistry. And even if you're not going to major in chemistry, I'm just going to provide some helpful tips that will be useful for pretty much anyone in university. So I've got a notebook here and I'm going to be just talking about a few things that I've learned so far. So I graduated high school and directly applied to go to university. I decided to major in food science because I always wanted to work in the food and pharmaceutical industry, doing sort of like quality control testing. That was my ultimate goal when I was applying for university. So the few main things that I took away from university and tips that I would definitely give you are: try really hard in your first year of university. First year of university is the closest year of university that is to high school. It's very similar. They set up a lot of programs, initiatives, and they kind of structure it in a way that will help you to be successful in your transition from high school to university. So first year, I think, is the 1 year where you should just try your hardest and try to get your grades up really, really high. So use that time to apply your previous knowledge and excel a lot in your first year courses. They're all going to be introductory courses. They're all going to be really large class sizes, and it's very much going to be similar to what high school was like, so you'll have the opportunity to really push yourself and use your previous skills to your advantage. So that'd be my major tip for first year, is just try really hard. Try really to get your GPA as high as possible, because as you probably know from high school, the longer that you're in university, the harder that it gets and the more that you don't want to go to class. So by the time you're in fourth year, you're not going to really, it's kind of too late to get your GPA up. So if you start out with a bang in your first year and you really utilize your previous skills from high school and get your average up, it'll set your trajectory for the rest of university on a really good start. Another tip for university first year would be just take that time to see everyone around you and kind of acclimate yourself with where you are and the people that are going to be in your major. But look around you and see who will be in the same education stream as you, and try to make friends with people. University honestly was a very collective experience for me, especially majoring in chemistry. A lot of the projects, labs, and courses that you take, having a friend by your side, taking the same thing as you really helps you to succeed in the future. If someone else understands something that you don't understand, they'll be able to explain it in a different way that the prof might not be able to explain it to you. So they'll be able to kind of dumb it down and give you an alternate explanation that you might definitely understand. I always thought helping a friend out really gave me the practice and learning, it increased my learning a lot, and also being taught by my friends or being explained questions from other friends was really helpful. So definitely try to just find maybe 1 or 2 people around you that are taking similar courses that you guys can work through those labs and those online modules and do them together, because it really is very beneficial to have the support system, someone that you can just look to and be like, this sucks. Another thing about first year is you don't have to be so sure what you want to do. It's okay to go into university and take general courses, try a few things out. Even for me, I began majoring in food science, but after first year I just realized that it wasn't the program for me. And just with talking with the guidance counselor, I realized that there's a lot of people who switch their major after first year, after second year. You're not obligated to do anything. I was able to go to my guidance counselor and tell her, this is what I see myself doing in the future, this is the stuff that I'm interested in, and they know the program, a list for the university so well. And my guidance counselor was able to show me a list of courses or programs that really suited, or she thought that would suit what I was talking about. And so I ended up switching my major, biological and pharmaceutical chemistry, for second year. And honestly, a lot of the courses that I had taken in first year, pretty much all of them were transferable to my new major. So don't feel like, you've chosen something and you kind of have to stick in that. You're very free to choose your own education and choose what you want to do. Maybe you realize that after the first year of university that what you chose wasn't good for you, because you're coming out of high school, you're not really sure what you want to do, and it's kind of hard to just pick your whole entire career and your whole entire future based off of your high school decisions. So take the time in first year to really, try hard in your courses and really think about, could you see yourself doing that in the future? And if you can't, don't hesitate to switch and change it up and, find something new that you would like a lot better. My second tip for university majoring in chemistry, the courses that I would suggest you to take are analytical chemistry, physical chemistry, organic chemistry, a lot of lab courses. Just based off of my experience working in industry, analytical chemistry is one of the main divisions of chemistry that is the most applicable to industry. A lot of the jobs that you'll see posted when you graduate relate to analytical chemistry and working in labs. So you'll see a lot of lab technician, lab technologist, analyst, and a lot of that is centered around analytical chemistry. Learning how to use instrumentation, GCMS, HPLC. So I would really recommend in your first and second year to really hone your laboratory skills and really focus on perfecting them. So that would include, glass pipetting, titration, using a pH meter, just the general instrumentation and technical skills that you can really acquire and put on your resume. So making sure you're focusing on the theory and the explanation of all of those things and really learning them and not just regurgitating the information. I think a major tip for me would be in university, I made the mistake a lot of just learning buzzwords, buzz phrases to repeat on exams, and I really didn't focus on learning the theory and the explanation for them and really kind of solidifying them in my brain. An example of that would be learning acid goes into water. That's like a really big key buzzword or buzz phrase that they use in first year university. But I really didn't understand the theory of why you do that or why you should follow that rule. And I think that's the most important thing to take away from university is not just memorizing those key phrases, because after you graduate, they'll slip out of your brain so easily. But really being able to, work your way through problems and really think about the theory of things, that's what will stay with you. Don't add acid to water because blah blah blah. Or so as well as taking analytical chem, I would suggest taking organic chemistry. And I know organic chemistry is so hard, but really just focusing on learning the reactions and learning the processes, not even just remembering them, because I don't remember pretty much any of the organic chemistry reactions, but I think the learning process that you go through with organic chemistry really trains your brain to think more chemically, and it helps you with your decision making and your theory in chemistry in general. So I think organic chemistry is a very important classes to take. Even if I'm not using the reactions per se and I'm not remembering like ozonolysis and everything like that, the theory in the background and the learning style that I gained from that class is really helpful to me after I've graduated. And then the third class I would really recommend taking would be like physical chem, anything with thermodynamics, anything that involves reactions and making solutions, because a lot of the things that you do in industry when you graduate will include making standards and reagents, mixing solutions. So I think like I was saying before, that like just really honing in on your wet chemistry skills and making sure you have a lot of those technical techniques under your belt, so that when you go into an interview and they ask you like, oh, do you know what volumizing means? Do you know how to make a standard? How is your precision? Stuff like that. You'll be able to say that you've had experience using those techniques and perfecting them while you're in school. The third most important thing I would say about majoring in chemistry is really getting to know your profs. Go to their office hours, ask them questions if you're ever concerned or if you really want more of an explanation on things. And this is really helpful for several reasons. First of all, going to your profs' office hours and asking them for help on the questions that they've assigned really shows your professors that you're really doing the work, you're putting the time in, and you want to extend your knowledge and further delve into the chemical industry. It makes you look good that, they know that you're actually doing the homework. When you're going over the questions with your professor, they kind of learn your style of learning, and they learn the way that you would think in your thinking process, so that when they're marking you, because a lot of questions that are on exams are long answer questions, by going to your prof and working with them, they learn your style of thinking and they learn your style of writing and speaking, and they can kind of read your answers on the exam and be like, okay, yeah, I know Kira, I know she was thinking of this, or I know we went over this problem before, so she totally knows what this means, so I can read between the lines, kind of. I'm not saying you're gonna get any extra marks, but it just helps to facilitate the professor-student relationship, and it gives them a better understanding of who you are and what you know and your work ethic. third beneficial thing about really getting to know your profs, it just opens a lot of doors and opportunities, and allows you to have a mentor that can kind of tell you, you know, what courses to pick, because as you go further into your third and fourth year, you're not really required to take a lot of courses. You have a lot of opportunities to pick and choose what you want to take, so you can ask your professors their opinions and just get a lot of good feedback on and advice. And getting to know your professors opens a lot of research program or research project opportunities. So in my third or maybe second year, I got really close to one of my profs, and as I got closer to graduating, when a research project opened up in her lab, she really just thought of me as a person that she would really want to work with. So that was just because I was constantly in her office, you know, asking her questions, really showing her that I was dedicated and interested in learning, and she saw those as qualities as someone that she wanted to work with her. So that was really good plus of going to your prof. So I would highly suggest that if you're interested in doing a research project in your fourth year, or maybe working on your master's, because getting to know your profs in your undergrad really sets you on a good table to be asking them to work in their research lab in your master's. And the fourth thing that's really important would be, you know, references. Like having an academic reference from a professor will do you so much good for applying to masters at other schools, or even just regular jobs in the chemical industry. Having an academic reference from a professor saying that, you know, they know that you're dedicated, they know that you've taken these courses and that you really excelled in them, it just sets you apart from other candidates. And like sort of the last tip that I would say for university, and this applies to your third and fourth years. So like I said, you know, when you're in your last years of university, you kind of have more flexibility in what courses you're going to take. I would really think, and I would suggest researching potential jobs that you think you're interested in. So after your second year of university, you kind of discovered what courses you're interested in or what courses you excel in. So what I would do is I would, you know, go online, look at some job boards, and read some job descriptions of things that you might be interested in, and look at the qualifications and the skills that they look for in those jobs. So if you look for a lab job and you see, oh, it says knows how to do HPLC, proficient in report writing, it can make standards, solutions, knows how to run NMR, or it's, you know, you should be choosing courses in your third and your fourth years that will give you more technical skills related to those job descriptions. And that way that when you come out of university, you're able to say that you've had experience using those techniques in an academic setting. So that would be my tip for third and fourth year. And as well as when you're researching jobs, you're able to by researching jobs, you're able to see the kind of salary figures you're looking at, and maybe you realize that, you know, university, yeah. In your third and fourth year, I also recommend you really thinking about your life and your decisions you've made, and if chemistry is really for you. And I would really recommend you taking like maybe a summer semester off after you've graduated to really take the time to breathe and soak all of it in before you start applying for jobs in industry, because once you start working, you really just feel like you gotta get the ball rolling. So it's good to take the time off to sit and let it marinate and, you know, really enjoy your childhood, because majoring in chemistry is really, really, really hard. It has a lot of lab work. You're probably in lab, you know, 3 hours a day, 3 to 4 days a week in the beginning. It's a lot of technical skills, a lot of reading, a lot of assignments, you know, lab books, projects, report writing. If you do a research project, you're having to do basically create a thesis and, you know, write an entire research report. There's a lot of presentations, so it's a lot of effort and a lot of hard work. And if you succeed and, you know, you get your degree, I really recommend taking a time off after to just soak it in and, you know, live your best life before you jump right into the chemical industry. I don't know, hopefully I covered everything I wanted to talk about, but if you guys have any other questions on majoring in chemistry or thinking about majoring in chemistry, just let me know. Comment down below, shoot me a tweet, anything. I hope this was even slightly helpful for anyone. So I hope everyone has a good day. Bye.